Hello and welcome to the 13 Nights of Horror. I am TJ Washuk.
And I'm Evan O'Neill.
On today's episode, we have The Ritual from 2018. It's a Netflix original movie.
Yeah, Netflix bought it at the end of 2017. It's a pretty good suspense movie, directed by David Bruckner.
He wrote for the VHS movie.
Yeah.
That we watched. Oh no, we watched the second one last year.
Yeah, we watched VHS 2 last year. It's pretty simple premise. Four friends go on a camp, or go on a hiking trip in Sweden, and they decide to take a shortcut through the woods.
I like how one of the guys said, if it was a shortcut, it'd be called a route. You know? There's no such thing as a shortcut, basically, is what he's saying.
Those are sage words.
So they eventually... Okay, first off, the cinematography in this is awesome. The scenes where you're in the woods, makes you feel in the woods. I love the aerial shots they have. The whole... Where they filmed it was awesome, I thought, the forest.
Yeah, everything was very beautiful. The forest felt thick, really dense. A lot of tall trees, not a whole lot of
shrubbery.
Yeah, well, not a lot of line of sight.
Yeah, that too.
Because there were so many trees.
The only few times they saw, a line of sight is when the main character Luke goes up a hill and can see down in the valley of the forest. But other than that, it's hard to see.
Yeah, it's a very claustrophobic film. It's supposed to be one of those cerebral films where you're thinking maybe these guys are losing their minds until the weird shit really starts to happen. Yeah, a lot of twists and turns, kind of like a M. Night Shyamalan type of movie. Yeah, a lot of twists.
I also wanted to add that the sound production on this movie is great.
Yeah, it's a lot of branches breaking in the distance, weird creature growling noises, a lot of roars, and just mysterious animal-like noises.
I wonder if this movie is actually 7.1 surround sound, because I feel like that would be a good movie to test it out on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sounds like it's coming at you from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
The lighting was mostly natural lighting. So the production costs were probably lower than what you would think.
Yeah, exactly.
But, man, it felt like a dark forest. Like a heavy, thick forest.
Yeah, definitely a Swedish forest. It's not a forest you would see it down in the south or, in Arizona.
Yeah, lots of tall trees, man.
Old trees.
Old trees, too, yeah.
So eventually they stumble upon a gutted deer, I think it was, or an elk.
Yeah, I think it was an elk.
In the trees, and that's when things start to get really weird. Apparently it was fresh, then all of a sudden it starts to rain very heavily. They find cover in this abandoned cabin, and Luke thinks he hears something behind him the whole time. They go upstairs to find some wood to put into the fire. They see this, wooden...
It's an effigy.
Is that what it's called? Okay.
Yeah, it's an effigy of a headless human made out of straw and sticks. And it's kind of freaky looking.
It was. So yeah, they were like, what the hell? This is witchcraft, probably. They think it's maybe a Nordic thing, which eventually does become a Nordic thing. You find out in the movie. So that guy was
they're being stalked by this creature, the Jotun is what they call it, but it's a Norse god. They say it's a child of Loki, but it has some Odin things to it, such as stabbing people onto trees and then hanging them like that.
Yeah, and I thought they did well with the creature, the design of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At first, you're not really certain that there even is a creature until you finally see it.
Yeah, because one scene is like, oh, those eyes, when they see him, but we don't see him. Only the characters do. And then eventually we see what the fucker looks like.
It plays with your mind. It makes you hallucinate. At the end, whenever Dom is being sacrificed, he sees his wife instead of the creature.
Yeah. And then Luke keeps on going back to the time where he could have saved his friend. Well, I don't think he could have. In the shopping center, or the corner store, where there's a holdup and his friend dies. And then apparently that has haunted him. So he could have joined this cult and became one of them, since they
worship they worship the creature, and the creature blesses them with like long life. But I think what it does is that it creates like a mummified version of yourself.
Hence why when he was upstairs there was those people.
Yeah. I think that was the worshippers, but like their true bodies.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's kind of like, a Blair Witch-ish kind of movie, Wrong Turn. I was really surprised. I didn't think it was be that good. It's been on my list for a while to watch. Normally a new Netflix horror movie in general, I feel isn't that great, but this one was surprising.
It's usually pretty hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say this is a hit. I'd say it's worth watching. I wanted to do this movie because I felt like it was slow and kind of in the same vein as like The Witch that we covered last year.
Yeah, exactly. And it was
supernatural, weird, religious stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it yet, this is another one on our list that you should definitely see if you're a fan of the horror genre. It's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it'll be on Netflix for a while.
Yeah.
It just came out in 2018. Anyways, I'm TJ Washuk.
And I'm Evan O'Neill.
Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and we'll see you next video. This has been a Two Guys production. Setting the mood with the smoke.